In this video, we're going to go over the top 5 problems that we found with the Ford Transit Connect, second generation. I want to start with one of the most common problems with these vehicles, that are fleet vehicles, they're delivery vehicles, they're used quite often all day long, are these doors. So we have door chuck and door hinge problems. Now you can physically see the door chuck is damaged, but they actually always seem to disconnect this so that they get a wider open. The spring's broken and the hinges get rust. And by getting rust and butterflying this, that's what they call butterflying it open so you can do your job. You're going to wear those pins out and you can actually see how this one has movement in it. These hinges have to get replaced quite often, and the same with the door chuck. So another problem with these vehicles is an intermittent throttle control problem. So basically you have no throttle. You give it gas, it doesn't seem to want to go, and it kind of like sluggish comes back, and it might kick in and it might not even idle, it might stall. And it also comes with codes, P2111 or P2135. So the first thing they want you to do is clean it. It's pretty common these get all gunked up and clogged. In the throttle body right here, just take the air box off, air hose, going into that throttle body, and if it is black, clean it up. Push down on that butterfly, and I can actually take a flathead screwdriver and open it just like that, hold it, and I can spray my throttle cleaner in there and get a little brush in there and clean it up. Key note here as a technician, I'm going to tell you, do not turn the key on when you do this, because this is electronically controlled, not cable controlled. If that key is on and that throttle inside is not matched up to the butterfly inside this throttle body, well, you're going to end up with more problems. So do it without the key on, clean that up, put the air box back on, then start it up. Just give it right down to the floor slowly, hold it steady, and it'll clean itself out. And then, if the code goes out after you clear it, doesn't come back, and everything seems great, you've done a great job. If not, you might have to replace that whole throttle body. So, of course, we have transmission issues. Of course you will with any sort of transit, or shall I say delivery vehicle, because they get used quite often. And it has to do with slipping or not shifting properly. It's not a manual. You put it in drive and you're driving down the road and it doesn't shift properly. You'll feel the vehicle not go into that next gear. Maybe the engine revs and you're slowing down. That's actually what they call slipping. You might even have an engine light on. Those codes come separately. The codes that would set would be P0751, P0752, and P0972. But the first thing you want to do is check your fluid level. Leave the car running, in park, make sure it's on a level surface, and you're going to pull your transmission dipstick. You're going to give it a quick wipe, initial wipe to get rid of that fluid. Then you're going to bring it back in one motion, pull it right back out, and then you're going to check your level. And if it's high with it running, it's overfull, but it should be right in the X's, right here in those 2 dots. That's what they do. They indicate that, and that's where the fluid level should be good. If it's good, then unfortunately you're going to have transmission rebuild issues. You're going to have to rebuild this or replace it. You can't do a service on it. It's gone past that point. Next thing to do is also check your fluid for smell. You're going to grab it and bring it right up here, and you'll smell a burnt smell, almost like a candle, but not a scented candle, and it will be burnt. You can smell it. You know what it smells like. If that's the case, it's a 100% rebuild or replace. Don't bother trying to do a service. You're just going to waste the fluid. So another big issue is the cooling fans on this vehicle. What happens is they turn on and then they turn right off. So they're kind of only running briefly. And what you can do is you can listen for the fans, hear them come on and off, but the temp sensor on this gauge is going to go up like it's overheating. And you might not actually be overheating. There's no coolant coming out. You open the hood, you're looking, you're like, whoa, what's going on? Coolant level seems to be good. The fans are not on, but that gauge says it's overheating. And it's really not overheating. So what you need to do, first thing is, get to a place that you can diagnose it quickly. And that means run the vehicle with the hood open and time it around 45 minutes, 50 minutes. These fans should come on for almost a 2-minute period, and that cools it down naturally. If it doesn't come on and stay on for 2 minutes, then you do have a problem. So the first thing they want you to do is check your fuses. So you're going to go to your engine compartment fuse box, which is right there, and you're going to check for fuse 16, which is a 30 amp, and fuse 17, which is a 50 amp. Make sure they're not blown. If they're not blown, they look good, they're in working condition, you're going to come out and check the module right here, disconnect it, and reconnect it. Then you're going to look for your CHT, which stands for Coolant Head Temp Sensor. And that is located on the head. And you're going to disconnect it real quick and reconnect it. See if the symptom goes away. If it does not, I'm going to say straight out, change that head temp sensor. You might even have a code that gives you that sensor saying it's not accurate. I would do it. It's pretty common with these Fords. Change that head temp sensor. If that does not fix the issue, then we're going into the PCM and wiring. So it might get too deep and you might have to go to the actual dealer to have them flash that or check that wiring out for you. So the last one is a clogged fuel injector. On this Ford Transit, it's kind of common, and I can't tell you why. Maybe it has something to do with the delivery, but dirt gets into these injectors. So it must be also the size of the pinholes on the end. Maybe there's only 4 of them on this one. Other cars have 6, but they get clogged. They're prone to it. Best thing to do is, you're going to see it, but is to get good gas and maybe add an additive to that tank. Not a lot. Once a month if you're going to do it, once a month, easily. Too much will actually burn that pump out. So you just want an additive that might clean these injectors or keep them going. You might, when it clogs up, get a misfire. Engine light comes on, it might chug, and it might even actually stall, or a lack of power. If you have any of those symptoms, go for the injector. And these are located right here in front of the valve cover. They just have a quick disconnect on the harness, and then you would have to take the fuel rail off, and then you could replace these injectors right in there. That's as simple as it is. So that concludes our top 5 problems with our Transit Connect, 2nd generation. If you like the video, subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And don't forget to ring that bell, because then it turns on all your notifications and you will never miss any of our future videos. Thanks for watching. This is a connector. It's centered in the center of the head. So we're going to disconnect this connector first, get it out of the way. Then we can actually pull this boot back. And then get a small screwdriver. Reach down the connector, pull it out. And you're looking for oil in here.